Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video. How's everybody doing? We're back, excuse me, with the Week 6 NFL picks. Season's just flying. It's really flying by this year. So it's bittersweet. So Week 6 starts tonight, Thursday Night Football, Giants at Patriots. So we're going to be doing the same thing that we do every week, going through all the games, that are going on this week. Giving my picks, predictions, discussions, hot takes, hot air, all that stuff. Get fired up, jacked up about some more football. All right, so we got the first game tonight, like I said, is the Giants at the Patriots. So this game here, I'm actually excited for, even though the Giants are awful. They're missing their whole team. The Patriots defense is, it's going to be embarrassing if you're the Giants, what's going to happen in this game. It's in New England. The weather's not going to be, the Giants have no chance, okay? But, however, I am interested in this game just because of, the storied, the Giants, the Patriots, they're in two different, two different conferences, AFC and NFC. And so they only play each other once every 4 years unless they played in the Super Bowl twice. But generally it's only once every 4 years. But there is a storied history, between these two teams. And I really think it's a shame you only get to see them play once every 4 years. Eli Manning's not under center anymore for the Giants. He's probably going to be on the sideline, I think. This is probably be the last time he's ever in this building. At Foxborough, against the Patriots, and obviously there's a pretty strong history that's there, and it's just kind of a shame that they only play each other once every 4 years, and we're not even going to get a very compelling game here because the Giants are just so terrible right now. But you think back to and people are talking about the Patriots go undefeated this year. They've got possibly the best defense of all time, at least statistically. With the way things are going right now, so people talk about 19-0 and could it happen and everything. First of all, I don't think it's going to happen just because they don't have enough on offense. They just need, if they had Antonio Brown, then I'd say it was going to happen because their schedule is soft as hell. All right, and so I thought it could happen there, but without Antonio Brown, they got banged up receivers. I just don't see it. I'm not talking about the game tonight. They're going to blow out the Giants. You kidding me? But in the tougher games, they're going to have to. They're going to lose some games just with the way things are on offense. So it's just too bad we're not going to get a compelling game. Because you think back to the last undefeated season, 2007, and that season, the Patriots actually played the Giants in the regular season the last week, and the Patriots actually almost lost. And then, of course, they lost to the Giants, and one of the most not controversial, but memorable in just that Super Bowl 42. It just has this mythical aspect to it. It's almost like you think about the Tyree catch and just some of the things that happened in that game. Not only did the Giants on defense play really, their offense didn't play really well, but their defense played. Their offense played well enough when they needed to. But that Giants defense and the David Tyree, the helmet catch, it's like there's just that storied history between, the relationship between these two teams. That even after that, they played each other 4 years later in the Super Bowl, and then, the Giants won again. Honestly, that Super Bowl, I don't think the Patriots even deserved to be there. Their team was just really not good. That was just, a good coaching job by Bill Belichick getting them there. Because, if you remember the Patriots, one of the receivers, Julian Edelman, was playing defense, and it was really crazy, what happened there. And, of course, the last time they played was 4 years ago. In the regular season, it was a really close back and forth, game that went down to the wire. The Patriots won with seconds left on a field goal. And then even going back to Bill Belichick, his time, he was in the Giants for a decade, I think. And then Bill Parcells, and just the whole history that's there between these two teams. It's just a shame that they don't play each other more often. That's one thing I think the NFL needs to work on. Compared to other leagues, I think the NFL, the schedule, the playoff structure, I think it's perfect. I love the way it works. I wouldn't change. I wouldn't really change much. If I was going to change anything, I would change the fact that it shouldn't take 4 years. And then, for instance, I know, and I don't want to keep using Patriots examples, but the Packers played the Patriots last year. It was Aaron Rodgers. I think it was the first time he ever played at New England. I think he was hurt 1 year, and then you'd only ever play at one particular stadium at another conference once every 8 years. And so if you're injured that time, it's going to be 16 years. It's ridiculous. So it's I feel like the NFL, if there was a way they could fix that, so it's not 4 and 8 years until you go to one stadium or play a team in another. It takes too long. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things where I think if they, because they're talking about like, if they have like a 17-game season, 18-game season, like if you kept this current structure and took off 2 preseason games, which are terrible, nobody likes them. If anything, players get hurt. You know what I mean? There's no, you know what I mean? And then if you had, if you added like another game and then maybe like another bye week to it, and then you had it like so that the game you could bump. So like right now the Super Bowl is like the first Sunday in February, but if you, I think there's something where if you like bumped it back a week, by either adding a week or doing something like that, then you could have Super Bowl Sunday the day before President's Day, and then the day after Super Bowl Sunday would be a holiday, which everybody wants. I mean, who wants to go to work or school or whatever the day after the Super Bowl? Nobody wants to do that. It's like going to, it's just, who wants to do that? Come on. Which I think it's a really good idea. And then I think what you could do is, with those 2 extra games, you could, play a team in the other conference. So you're going to play, like, say you're in the NFC, whatever conference. Like, so let's say you're in the AFC and you're playing the NFC South this year. You're going to play every NFC South team. There's 3 other divisions in the NFC, or in the other conference, whatever the case may be. And so, like, if you added 2 games, then you could play, like usually the way it works is, so you play every team in your division twice, every team in one division of the other conference once. You play another division in your conference, and then for the last 3 games, you play the team in each other division in your conference that finished with the same seed in that division as you finished in your division the previous year. That's how the schedule works. I don't know. It's kind of concerning that, like, I'm so into football that I even know that. But so that's how it works. Like, if you added 2 games, you could do, like, if you're playing every team in within one division in the other conference, you could also play, the same way you play a team that's the same seed in each division in your conference, or the other 2 aside from the division that you play in its entirety. You could play, like basically like, the same seeded team in another division in the other conference. So you'd play like, like say you're in the AFC, you'd play an entire, like let's say you play like the whole NFC South, then like the same seeded team in the NFC East and the NFC North. And then like the next year it would be like the NFC West, and then, you know what I mean? Like it would just rotate like that. I feel like that because then this way, there's more coverage. It's not like every 4 or 8 years until, you play one of these teams. And so that would be, I just don't see why they shouldn't do it. It's just, I don't know. There's a storied history between these teams. I wish they play each other more. I wish this game tonight would be more compelling, but unfortunately, it is not to be. Next game up, London game, Sunday morning. Who the hell's watching this? Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yuck. Give me the Panthers. Next game, I'm not wasting time on these terrible games. Next game, Philadelphia Eagles, Minnesota Vikings. Both teams are 3-2, but I think they're 3-2 for different reasons. Philadelphia Eagles are a team that, they're not as good as they were 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. But I think they're still just like a spunky, gadgety team that on any given day, if they really schemed things up, could beat any team. They're just not super consistent. I'm actually not that high on Carson Wentz. He's definitely talented. He's definitely a good quarterback, but there's just not enough consistency with this team. They're 3-2. The Eagles, they start the season, they come out, week 1, and they go and they I think so they beat the Redskins 32. So allowing 27 points to the Redskins is bad. They lose to losing to the Falcons is terrible. They lose to the Lions. Then they beat the Packers 34-27 2 weeks ago. And then they blew out the Jets, which that doesn't mean I could blow out the Jets without Sam Darnold and whatever. But it's like with that schedule, they shouldn't have lost the game. They should have beat the Redskins, which they did. They should have beat the Falcons, which they didn't. They could have beat the Lions, which they didn't. The Packers win, that's legit, and then the Jets, like, that doesn't tell us anything. And I just feel like they've got the weapons, you know what I mean? Like, they've got the tools, it's just putting everything together. It seems to be, consistency seems to be an issue for this team. Minnesota Vikings, on the other hand, there's too much drama with Diggs, in just that receiving core. There's just too much friggin' drama with this team. It's another team, and it's starting to become a lot in the NFL, this burgeoning category of teams that have the pieces but because of, poor coaching or, anything, or, whether it's the coach or it's the quarterback or it's the stuff in the locker room or the drama or off, just can't put it together and play 16 games. There's just too many teams that are not sound between the ears. And I think the Vikings are another one of these teams. They are in, I believe it was the NFC Championship game, or no, it was the divisional round, whatever it was, with the Saints a couple years ago. I mean, they were on a run, a heck of a run. They really haven't lost that much, and then they go, they beat the Falcons week 1. The Falcons are terrible. They lose to the Packers, they beat the Raiders, they lose to the Bears, they beat the Jets. I mean, that's just kind of like it doesn't really tell you much, that schedule. They got drama with Stephon Diggs wanting to get out of there. Like, it's just, that could be a really good, top team in the NFC, and, they're squandering it. It's in Minnesota. It's at 1 o'clock. Give me Minnesota winning this game. I feel like they're going to, start making, just getting up to speed here. Next game, oh my God. This might be the worst game that there ever was. Oh my. This might be the worst game. This might be the first game in NFL history to end in a 0-0 tie. The Washington Redskins at the Miami Dolphins. This might end 0-0. This is the tank bowl right here. I mean, this is who can tank harder. That might almost make it interesting to watch. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my God, I don't even know who to pick because they both suck. Oh man, this is. Neither of these teams wants to win either. At this point, you don't want to win any games. You want to tank and get the number 1 pick. I mean, this is. Holy smokes, is this bad? It's so bad that I don't even know who to pick. You know what? Give me the Dolphins winning this game because the Redskins just fired their coach, and I think they're so bad that they're not even good enough to tank properly. So give me the Dolphins winning the game. It's in Miami. I mean, yeah, whoever's at home is gonna win this game. Just give me Miami. This is a game. This is a game that's gonna be won 7-5. And the 5, actually no, 8-6. But then the 8 is gonna be 4 safeties, and then the 6 is gonna be 3 safeties. No offensive points. Just mistakes. And then a blocked punt, just some disaster. What a mess this game is. All right, so yeah, give me Miami, whatever. Next game, okay, this game here might be the game of the week. I gotta go home. Let me just go through here, and then I'm gonna decide if this is game of the week might be Rams and 49ers. So, I mean, the Texans put up 50+ points on the Falcons, even though the Falcons defense sucks. But yeah, Houston, Kansas City. So Houston, Kansas City. So Kansas City last week, they lost their first game to the Colts. Kansas City looked, I mean, Kansas City was borderline unstoppable. And then you saw what the Colts did to them. They showed you how you beat the Chiefs. They showed you how you make the Chiefs look ordinary and you take the wind out of their sails. You run the ball. The Chiefs' defense is awful, okay? They couldn't stop anything. I mean, you can run on them. You can pass on them. I mean, they got, it was Jacoby Brissett. He's definitely talented. Not the best quarterback you'll see. He was thrown all over this team. Then they're running the ball. I mean, after this game, the Colts had to pick the Chiefs out of their tires. They ran over this. They ran a train over the Kansas City Chiefs. And in doing so, you keep Mahomes on the sideline, because their defense can't stop anything. And he was hurt with an ankle and they had an injury. And the way you beat the Chiefs is you slow them down. You don't let them turn the game into a track meet. And then they can't win because, I'm not saying they can't. It's just the Chiefs cannot win games on defense, and they can't win. The only way the Chiefs can win a game is if they turn it into a track meet and just Mahomes is running all over the place. That's how they win. If you have a good defense and you can run the ball, the Chiefs are going to have a hard time winning the game, which is exactly what the Patriots did in the AFC Championship game last year. And it seems like the defense is not. Defense might have got worse for the Chiefs. Okay, so yeah, it's in Kansas City though. Kansas City lost last week. They're not going to lose again. But then again, Deshaun Watson is not bad. I mean, yeah, this is a tough call. This is a tough call right here. Give me Kansas. Kansas City's not losing 2 weeks in a row. And they're not going to lose at home. Well, actually, they lost at home last week on Sunday Night Football. Yeah, they're not losing. They're not going to. You know what? I don't know. What's the spread for this? I'm kind of on the fence here. Let me just check. I feel like the Kansas City has to be favored in this game, just because that they're Kansas City. Yeah, and they're favored by 8. Yeah, give me Kansas City. All right. All right. Next game, New Orleans Saints at Jacksonville. Give me New Orleans. I'm not wasting time here. I'll tell you what. New Orleans is friggin' legit. Okay. Usually with a team, when their best quarterback, not only their quarterback, but Drew Brees. I mean, we're not talking about losing Matt Shaw. Well, he's not a starter; he's a backup for the Falcons. But yeah, they might want to try starting him actually after this performance by the Falcons. But this is not. We're not talking about losing who's a bum starter in the end. I mean, there's plenty of them. We're not talking about. What's his name? We're not talking about Jones on the Bills. We're not talking about, you know what? Who's Denver's? I don't even pay attention to Denver because they're another team that's just awful. Do they have? Do they still have? Because they've been through 4 quarterbacks in as many minutes. I should know this, but I don't. Let's see. They've got Brandon Allen. That's their quarterback. Wait a minute. Wait a second. All right. Drew Lock. I don't even know who. I can't even tell you who starts for the Broncos. That's how sucky they are. But I should know that. But you get the idea. We're not talking about one of these scrubs going down. We're talking about Drew Brees going down. All right, Drew Brees is the New Orleans Saints. That guy is unreal. So you'd think history would lead you to believe that you lose Drew Brees, you're done. That's the end of your season. I mean, he's not gone for the season. He's missing 6 or 7 or 8 weeks or whatever it is. That was a few weeks ago. So he's coming back. But to have gone on a run without Drew Brees, I mean, imagine what's going to happen when he comes back. This team's freaking legit. So yeah, they're going to beat Jacksonville. Next game, Seattle Seahawks and Cleveland Browns. Seattle Seahawks, there's another team. The Seattle Seahawks are a team where if they lose Russell Wilson, who should be the MVP, then they're definitely going down because this Russell Wilson is the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, you see the plays this guy makes. I mean, he's pulling not as much. He doesn't run as much as earlier in his career. Obviously, because you get older and you don't want to take those kinds of hits. But I mean, Russell Wilson. I almost said Drew Brees again. Russell Wilson. Holy smokes! I mean, he is carrying that team, man. They shouldn't have any problems beating Cleveland. Cleveland is another one of these teams where they got the weapons, they got the tools, but they just can't put it together. You know what I mean? Freddie Kitchens doesn't really know what he's doing with that team. I mean, they got blown up by the 49ers. I mean, that should have been a closer game given the talent on that team. And, what are you going to do? Yeah, give me Seattle in this game. Next game, Cincinnati. Okay, we're not wasting any time with this one. The winless Bengals against the Ravens. Give me the Ravens. Next game, 49ers and Rams. This might be the game of the week. Let me just check the rest of the... Yeah, this might be the game of the week. 49ers and Rams. Yeah, I think this might be the game. This might be the game right here. Boy, this is that the 49ers, Rams, and Houston Chiefs? I'm going with 49ers and Rams. Yeah, this should be a good game. So, obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo has been on a tear. 49ers are still undefeated. So the 49ers, I think it's interesting. I saw this tweet that Jacoby Brissett on the Colts, when he defeated the Chiefs the other night, which gave them their first loss, made Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers and Tom Brady with the Patriots the 2 only undefeated teams. That's interesting because all those 3 guys were all quarterbacks on the Patriots 3 years ago, and so it's it's kind of a storybook ending there. But anyways, so you look at the 49ers, you look at Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, that guy's legit. It's just a question of how long can he keep it together and not get hurt. I mean, he's kind of he's missed a lot of time in his career for injuries. He was injured when he was with the Patriots. He missed last season with an ACL. It's just that's something you got to watch with this guy. He's not exactly the most durable, guy on the field. You know, and then you look at the Rams. The Rams are a team who were just, you know, got talent coming out of the years, but, you know, they just can't seem to put it together here. 3-2. You know, I mean, if anything, you'd think that they've gotten better since last season. I mean, they got blown out 55-40 by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2 weeks ago, okay? Then they lose 30-29 to the Rams. By the way, how do you get blown out by the Buccaneers 55-40, but then lose a 1-point game? Like, the Buccaneers suck, all right? The Buccaneers haven't been good since, like, 2002, all right? So, you know, you look at the Rams and the Seahawks. It's like, how do you lose by 1 to the Seahawks, but then get blown, you know, 55 points? You lose, you know, against the Buccaneers. Like, how does this even happen? How could this be? You know, usually that's a sign of a team that's got some talent but just can't seem to put it all together. It's starting to be a trend in the NFL, unfortunately. You know, and so you're hosting, you know, the 49ers. Not that that's a large commute. It's like 3 hours. You know, so you got the 49ers coming in there. Jimmy Garoppolo, they haven't lost a game, although they've played 4 games and not 5 because they had a bye week already. So it's a little bit of a skewed example. They haven't won 5. They're undefeated, but, you know, over 4 games against, well, you know, not bum teams, but, you know, I mean, they haven't really been tested yet. You know, you could say. So, you know, you look at this game. I think what this game's going to come down is 2 things. I think Jared Goff, I think, is a bum. He's just not. The guy's not right. I mean, you saw what happened. He got completely pantsed in that Super Bowl. I mean, the guy he's just one of these, you know, like, just playbook guy. He needs McVay, you know, in his ear. Like, as soon as that timer cuts off, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he's just like, he can't. His reads, his progress. Like, he's a freaking robot. This guy, right? You know, so I think what it's going to come down to is how many points. I mean, the Rams obviously are very talented on offense. I mean, they scored, you know, like on their worst day. I mean, you go look at some of their games this year. You know, they beat week 1. You know, they put up 30 points on the Panthers, beat them 30-27. Put up 27 points on the Saints, beat them 27-9. 20 points on the Browns, 20-13. You know, they put up 40 points on the Buccaneers, but lose 55-40. 29 points on the Seahawks, lose 30-29. So obviously, you know, they're capable of putting up the points. How many points do you need to put up to beat the 49ers? 49ers have a great passing game. Maybe one. I think it's one of the best in the league because, you know, you got the Chiefs, you got the Patriots, you got the Saints. Like, there's a lot of teams that can pass the ball pretty darn good. So I'm not gonna put them up there, but it looks really good. It looks really solid. The 49ers defense, you know, pretty good. You know, you go ahead and look at some of the 49ers games thus far this season, the 4 games that they've played. You know, obviously, other than their bye week, week 1, they hold the Buccaneers to 17, the Bengals to 17, the Steelers to 20, and the Browns to 3 last week. Defense is good. So, I mean, I feel like this is going to be one of these games where the Rams can go in and put up, like, I don't know, like 27. I mean, they should be able to put up 30 on the 49ers. You know, they've got the weapons to do it. The 49ers, on the other hand, are, I think, it's a really good team. I think it's a fundamentally sound team. It's just going to come down to when they go up against a team that's got a little bit more, you know, firepower on it, that's got some stars and some shutdown defense that can do some things on them. You know, when they have that adversity, what's going to happen, which you haven't really seen yet. But I think the Rams are going to win this game because the Rams have underperformed thus far. Like, you can't. When you see a team that loses 55-40 to the Buccaneers, that's a team that's got the weapons that can score the points, but, you know, whether it's on defense or just, you know, they haven't pulled it together yet. They're at home. The 49ers haven't lost the game yet. They're kind of just cruising. They had a bye week. I feel like this is the kind of a game where, you know, it's kind of set up for the Rams to win. So give me the Rams in this game. Nice team up. Atlanta Falcons, Arizona. Oh my God, the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals are 1-3-1. They had a tie in week 1. I feel like every year, either the Cardinals or the Seahawks, or maybe both, or not this year. Sorry. I feel like every year the Cardinals have a tie. I don't know why. It's like every year when I do these videos, I feel like they have like a tie. I don't know how it always happens, but yeah, let's not waste any time on this. Give me the Falcons. Actually, the Cowboys and Jets. Give me the Cowboys. I do want to talk about the Cowboys for a second. So the Cowboys, it's clearly been proven that the Cowboys, who, you know, everybody was hyping them, they were like number 3 in the power rankings their first few weeks. It's clear that they're only good against bad teams, which means they're not a very good. Well, no, see, because a bad team is bad against every team. Good teams, bad teams. I mean, they just have, they're up and down. They're all over the place. The Cowboys are consistently really good against bad teams and bad against good teams, which usually when you see that, that tells you that a team's soft. It means that, yeah, they're fundamentally sound. They can make the plays, but when teams start, like throwing different looks at them on, like giving Dak Prescott, these certain looks that he's not used to, they're bringing blitz packages and they're pressuring him, they're speeding them up, they're getting him off his progressions, they're making him throw to his number 2 guy, they're stacking the box, they're stopping the run. Like once when they start making you play left-handed, you can't adjust. That's a team that's soft. Like when they meet adversity and then they just fold, that's usually what you're dealing with, and the Cowboys are this kind of team. I'm not saying necessarily that they're soft. It's just I think they're a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? Like when they're playing a team that knows how to play them, they don't know what to do. And that's the Cowboys, and that comes down to coaching really more than anything else. You know about Jason Garrett. I don't need to like recite the memes for you. But anyways, the Jets suck. All right, I think they are getting Sam Darnold back, but I mean, that's kind of, it's kind of like deck chairs on the Titanic, if you know what I mean. It's in New York. I got Dallas winning this in a close game. Like, I feel like the Jets are going to bounce back and start scoring some points, but they're just not as good as Dallas, but more importantly, they're not talented enough, and like well coached enough to push the buttons you need to push to get the Cowboys off their game. I feel like the Jets are gonna be like, we gotta stop the run. We're gonna stack the box. We're gonna shut down Elliott, and then that's all they're gonna do. They're just gonna like blitz and play like nickel and just like sit. Like they're not gonna do anything exotic. The Jets have not been known for that. Give me Dallas from this game. Next game up, Tennessee Titans at Denver. Denver got its first win last week. You'll never guess who Denver was able to beat. Actually, you might be able to guess who they were able to beat. They beat the Chargers, which is really sad because the Chargers are a team that, they went to the AFC divisional game last year, got blown out in New England. They beat the Colts week 1. They lost to the Lions week 2, lost to the Texans, beat the Dolphins. So it's just another one of these listing, sad 2-3 Chargers teams. Which I kind of want the Chargers, the Raiders, like those are teams that, just for the nostalgia of it, Phillip Rivers, Gruden, these guys from years ago, you just want to see them win. Just the nostalgia. It's like it's one of those things where like, I remember like the Super Bowl earlier this year when they talked about like there was going to be like the SpongeBob halftime show. Just like there's something about nostalgia that people like, and I think this is one of those things. But then again, this is football. Then again, they're playing the 1-4 Pittsburgh Steelers. So I mean, come on, it's out west. It's at home for the Chargers. They're going to win this game. The Steelers suck. Mason Rudolph, though, my condolences to this guy. I mean, he took a shot, so hopefully he's all right. I do want to check what his status is. I don't think he can play like the week after that happened. He's limited in practice, showed progress issues. Yeah, so we're not actually sure yet. He took a brutal hit, concussion. I mean, you hate to see that. So. Give me the Chargers in this game. Last game of the week, Green Bay Packers hosting the 2-1-1 Detroit Lions. So the Detroit Lions might not be the best team, but they've got some tricks up their sleeve. They almost beat the Chiefs a couple weeks ago. They came within like a play or two of beating the Chiefs. They're getting there. It's a team that's turning the corner. However, the Packers, I just feel like the Packers are. The NFC is wide open. The AFC is like it's the Patriots and then maybe the Chiefs, depending on how things go. And then that's kind of it. The NFC, you got the Packers, you got the Lions, you got the Cowboys, you got the Rams, you got the 49ers, you've got the Saints, you've got the Seahawks. Like every team, the Eagles, every team's good. Not every team, okay? Like Jacksonville's in the AFC. Like the Redskins suck. Like, all right, I'm just gonna go through this. All right, we're gonna go through this. I think like over half of the NFC could reasonably be in the Super Bowl. Like Cowboys, yes. Eagles, yes. 49ers, yes. Seahawks, yes. Rams, yes. So that's 5. Packers, yes. Lions, yes. Bears, yes. That's 8. Saints, yes. Panthers, yeah. All right, so that's 9. Okay, so 9 of 16 teams. So just over half of the teams in the NFC. Like the NFC is wide arse open, okay? wide open. All right, I can't remember a year, and I watch a lot of football. I've been watching it for a long time. I can't remember a year where it was this wide open. Like, that NFC is freaking stacked. All right, I mean, you could. You know, the AFC is like, it's just kind of the Patriots, basically. I mean, the Chiefs are starting to, the wind's starting to come out of their sails. So I was going to say it's between the Patriots and the Chiefs. It's really the Patriots. But the NFC, I mean, come on. Like, any of those teams you could make an argument for. I mean, some better than others. I think the Saints are the favorite. I mean, they have to be until proven otherwise. I mean, when you're going out and you're balling with Teddy Bridgewater, not that Teddy Bridgewater is bad, but, given what Drew Brees means to that team, you lose Drew Brees and you're still going out and you're just dominating. I mean, that's a team right there. So I've got a Patriots-Saints Super Bowl is my prediction, but 9 of the 17 teams and obviously 9 teams don't make the playoffs. So you can see there's very, very good Super Bowl contending teams that won't make the playoffs. That's how good the NFC is. So there you go. So anyway, so you look at this game here. Detroit at Green Bay. I just feel like Green Bay's feeling like Aaron Rodgers, like Stephen A. Smith says, Aaron Rodgers is a bad dude. All right, that guy hasn't been. I honestly think he's more talented than Tom Brady. He's just nowhere near as consistent as Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like, Tom Brady's been to 9. Hold on a minute, 6. Yeah, he's been to 9 Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers is 2. I think he's been to 2. I believe he's been to 2. And he should have been to like 10. I mean, like when Aaron Rodgers is in the zone, so when he's not hurt, but also when this guy like mentally, there's like a thing with his family. He doesn't talk. Not that you want to get all into somebody's personal business, but like off the field, like it goes without saying, there are years when Aaron Rodgers just isn't right. He's just not only injury related, but the guy's got stuff on his head. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain years where he's just not there. But when he is, and when he's feeling it, and he's in the zone, there's nobody like him. I mean, this guy is like, except like maybe Mahomes, but I put Aaron Rodgers ahead of Mahomes, because Aaron Rodgers, like, he makes plays happen when there's nothing there. He's more experienced. He's a veteran guy, and it feels like this is one of those years where, they're 4-1. I mean, they're legit. I mean, they're going to be playing the Saints down the stretch, I'm pretty sure. If not in the regular season, then in the playoffs, almost certainly. So, you look at this game and it's like, I got Green Bay winning this game. Green Bay is just legit. Not only on offense, but the defense this year looks pretty good. All right, guys, that's my picks for this week. Hope you enjoyed this one. Like I said, game of the week, 49ers at Rams. And other than that, that's going to do for this one, guys. Let me know in the description what your picks and predictions are. Other than that, until next time, that'll do for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.